Hi friends, it's Carolyn Zook here with Sue Zook Stitch, and today is Saturday, October 30th, 2021. Welcome to my channel about cross stitch. I'm so glad that you are here spending part of your day with me. This is the day before Halloween here, so I'm not dressed up. That might be obvious to some of you. Some of you might think I'm dressed up or something like that, but I am not. I'm not big on Halloween, actually. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the candy. Look at that sunspot. It's so bright and sunny. Which I prefer the rain, but it has been raining all week, maybe longer here. So the sun is a nice change of pace. So hopefully it won't get in our way too much. But like I was saying, Halloween, I love the candy. It's just not my favorite day. I don't really care for dressing up and all that. But I am excited to have Halloween in my new house and see how many little trick-or-treaters we get. I am ready to go. I am prepared. So hopefully I'll get a bunch. One of my neighbors said that we get, around 50 or so. So I'm hoping that's a good number for me. So we'll see. I'll report back next week. All right. So let's get into it. So it was 24 hours of cross stitch last weekend, which I talked about a little bit in last week's video. I did not make 24 hours. I made about almost 19. I think it was a little shy of 19 hours. I was feeling under the weather last Sunday. Really a little bit on Saturday too, but really Sunday and Monday. It didn't develop into anything. I think it was, I don't know if you've heard on the news about bomb cyclones. They sound very scary. We had a bomb cyclone. I think it was kind of all up and down this kind of part of the West Coast. Because I know they were talking about in California as well, and I know in Washington as well. And basically, from what I understand, the bomb cyclone is when it has to do with when the barometric pressure drops a certain amount. It's like 3/4 of an inch in less than 24 hours. And that's considered a bomb cyclone. And so what it did, so I tend to get really bad headaches with the weather and my joints do act up with the weather as well. And so I had a really bad headache most of last weekend. And I think it was because the barometric pressure was dropping. And so we had huge winds, lots of rain, which is good because we really, really need the rain. But yes, super, super big winds. Some areas lost power. I did not lose power, which I'm thrilled about. Those of you who've been with me since February, remember in February we had a big storm and I lost power for 7 days and 7 nights. So, but anyway, so 24 hours cross stitch is great. It was fun. I want to try it again. I want to get to 24 hours. I really do. I think maybe if I had felt better and there wasn't a bomb cyclone happening, I don't know. I came close though, and I got a lot of great progress, which I'm excited to share with you. First up though, I've had a lot of comments about my Stitchy Planner, which is great, and I'm so excited to share it with you. So I'm going to show it to you again and talk a little bit about it. So this is this year's Stitchy Planner. It's just the 2020-2021. It's a 2-year monthly planner. And this is the new one that I got for 2022 and 2023. This is $8 on Amazon. I will put a link in the description box below because a lot of you have been asking where I get this. It's just on Amazon. It is $8. And I've talked kind of in my video about a year ago, I talked about how I plan in this. So I don't know, maybe I'll do an updated one at some point, but I don't really have plans to. But let me tell you a little bit about what I like about this planner. So one of the things that I really like about this planner is it's very simple. This probably is not the type of planner that would work for me for my day-to-day life, my work appointments and meetings and all that, but it works perfect for stitching because it's kind of what I think of as a no-frills planner. It's simple, which I like. Sometimes I feel like planners put in a lot of extra stuff that I'm never going to use. So, at the beginning, I opened in the middle because I already have some stuff I can't show you quite yet. Tacked in to my 2022 pages. But there's a calendar for the year, and there's a notes page. And then you have your monthly calendar. Okay, the boxes are pretty big. They're big enough for me to write down what project I stitched on, and how many hours, or you could track stitches, anything like that. I've tracked a couple different projects in each day before, and it works well. And there's a notes section over here. I use that section to track my monthly goals. So I'll put my whip go pieces, and then, you know, I have all my goals. So my monthly magazine challenge, like acrostic and theme piece, goes over here. And then at the bottom, I do like my stats, and I can show you that in my current planner. And then when we change months, there's 2 note pages in between, and then we just go on to the next month. It is simple. I like it. And for $8 for 2 years, you can't go wrong with that. Okay, so here's the one I'm using. It's gotten thick over the course of use, and it's kind of, you know, it's worn in places, but I love that because that shows that it's been loved and used. And okay, so let's look at October. This is kind of a look at how I use it. Okay, so I highlight in a color to each project. Mostly, well, only really, so that when I go back over the month and look to see which projects, to calculate how much time I spent on each project, it's just a little bit, it's a visual that helps me see that better, or know what color at least I'm looking for. I don't know how much, honestly, it helps, if I'm being really honest, but now that I've started, I kind of can't stop. So this is what it looks like. You know, we're almost done with the month. I didn't cross stitch all last night. I'll talk about that in a minute. But you can see I just put in there, I worked on a couple different pieces so they fit nicely. Here's my goals for the month. Here's my stats, so how many starts, how many finishes, and the total time for the month that I stitched on. Here are my whip go pieces. So that is how I use it. And then what I like about these notes pages, so for example, I print out for me and I tape in, I just use double stick tape, and I tape in the monthly magazine worksheet, so I can work from that for the month. I have, this is my whip go board. I taped it in at the start, so this is, oops, this is January 2021, so there's a couple note pages in between. So whip go board, these are my goals for the year. So I always see it. That's what's important to me. That's how I meet my goals, is when they're in a place where I'm looking at them constantly. This is our Bringo board, and then we started with the January worksheet. So everything is in here in one place, and then I tend to know that this is all my stitching related challenges and groups and anything like that will be in this book, so it's all in one place, along with my goals, because if I have my goals in a place where I'm not looking at them, they're no good to, you know, like I just don't think of them or don't remember them. So that's how I use that. I hope that helped. I do go more in depth. I'll try to link that video down below too if you're interested in more on how I plan, how I use it. I'm not changing much with this planner because this is working so well for me. So I kind of, I mean, it works really great for me, and you can use the notes pages for anything that you want, but I found a system that works well for me, and I'm super excited to continue that in this fresh new book next year. So do let me know if you have any questions. I love talking about planners, as you probably know. And yeah, so just let me know if you have any questions, and I will link the planner down below. I'm going to close some shades to try to get rid of this sunspot, but I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. That is a lot better. Both of the kitties are laying in the sunshine on the ground, napping, and it's really cute. I took a quick video, which I will insert at the end of this video. Okay, let's get into cross stitch and what I finished this week. Well, I have a really big finish, and I'm super excited about it. I kind of plastered it in all the groups, so you probably already know about it, but if you're not on Facebook, you might not know about it. But I did finish Spring Quakers by Rosewood Manor. I had these grand plans that I was going to iron it for you before I showed it. It didn't happen, but here we go. It is done. I loved it. I used the called for Valdani threads, which you use, for this piece anyway, you use as it comes off the spool, which is 3 strands. The strands, each individual strand is a little bit thinner than DMC. So instead of 2 strands like you use with DMC, you just use all 3 strands. And it's lovely to work with. The variegation is quite beautiful. This piece in total took me 130 hours to complete. That is, if I work straight through with no breaks, no sleep, nothing, it would take me only 5.5 days. So that's not too bad. And then I wanted to talk a minute about this. So Dawn, in the comments, Dawn asked about this motif here. And she asked, is it charted for the Z? And it's not. It's charted for you to put in your initial that you want. So on the chart itself, Karen Kluba is the designer, so she has a K in there, but she gives you the whole alphabet, so you can choose whatever letter you'd like to go in there. And so I chose Z for my last name, and I really love the way it turned out and the way it looks. And Dawn mentioned that it looks like a Pennsylvania Dutch symbol, text symbol. And it kind of does. I really love it. I do have Pennsylvania Dutch in my background, so that was a really neat comment, Dawn, that you left for me. So I took a video of a bit more close-up, so it might be a little bit like I put it on a chair and then I kind of zoomed in with the camera. So it might be a little bit easier for you to see some of the close-ups. So I'm going to insert that video here for you. So I hope you enjoyed that close-up. I hope it gave you a little bit better look. I mean, it's hard to kind of show you close-up all of the designs and the motifs. But I love it. This is stitched on the called for 28 count Valor by Picture This Plus. I am thrilled to have it done. So hopefully we will get it framed before spring 2022, and then it can go on my wall. So I am thrilled with that. That was basically what I worked on for 24 hours of cross stitch. I got to the point where I had one page left and it's not a full page. And so I just said, I just want to push through and finish this up. And that is what I did. So Spring Quakers, done. That is the other big, so 2 big goals this year is to finish Spring at Hawk Run Hollow and Spring Quakers. And those are both now done. So I am thrilled. Everything else that I finish from here on out is just icing on the cake. All right, in addition to finishing that piece, I also worked on my Stony Creek L'Amazing piece. This is from the summer 2020 issue of Stony Creek magazine. And let me find it. Let's show you what it will look like. It will look like this when it is done. I think it is darling. I've taken out the words and I just kind of moved the llama down a bit to recenter it. Whoops, knocking stuff down here. My goal on this piece was 6 hours this month. I did not meet that actually. I got about 4 hours done. So I want to make up those extra 2 hours at some point. This is where I'm at. You can't really see. Can't really see that. I had to pick up what fell on the floor. Okay. So this is where I'm at. So it's nearly done. I just have to finish out his little face here and then finish out this border and then he'll be done. This is stitched on 28 count Vintage Blue Whisper. And I use this for the L in the monthly magazine challenge across stick color for this month. This was really slow going and I found it quite frustrating and I'll show you why. I'm struggling a bit on this piece. It's beautiful. I love it. I'm going to stick with it because I'm almost done and I love how it looks. But it calls for it's glittery. I don't know if you can tell that it's glittery on camera. You really can't see the glitter. There's glitter. It calls for this blending filament, rainbow blending thread, Glisten Gloss it's called. And there are 3 colors of this used in it. And this is my second thing of the white, the triple zero white blending filament. Can you see that split right there? You see that? That is what I'm dealing with. That is what makes it so hard. It splits, it slips out of, or like one little piece of it will slip out of the needle. And the llama face, so this face is one strand of DMC, whatever it is, 3865 maybe? Can't quite remember. So one strand of that and 2 strands of the Glisten Gloss. And it's so slow going, and it's just really, really frustrating to work with. Yeah, I just find it really, really hard. I'm going to keep going, but I'm not thrilled about working with that. Kreinik is way easier to work with than this stuff, I think. I mean, love the effect. Hate working with it. So I'm going to push through to finish it. I'm hoping I won't need a third one. It only says you need 2, or 1, excuse me, in the magazine, but in the list. But there's so much waste with this because you have to keep clipping it off because it keeps splitting. If anyone has any advice to how to make this like a better, now that I'm almost done with it, I am open. I also could have been frustrated because of the bomb cyclone and I wasn't feeling great, but this has just been a challenge. So I'm a little not thrilled that I only got 4 hours in, but because I do want to finish it. I think it will be very, very pretty. And I'm looking at it and I did something, these 2 cheek colors, they're different colors. I mean, not different colors, they're the right colors, but I think they're different intensities. So I think I need to add a strand in one cheek. Anyway, this project, again, gonna love it when it's done. Wish I hadn't used that Glisten Gloss stuff. I won't use it again. I will instead try to come up with an alternative blending filament. So if anyone has any advice or tips on how to make that a better experience for me, I am open to it. So that is amazing. My goal is to finish it this year, and I should be able to, but you know how it goes. And then I worked on Autumn Quakers. This is my Rosewood Manor Autumn Quakers. This is what it will look like. So this is like the spring Quakers that I finished, only this is autumn. I'm right up here. My goal on this for this year was the first 3 pages, which would be about the 3rd. I'm not going to meet that. But I wanted to work on this, one, because I was on a Karen Kluba high after finishing Spring Quakers. 2, this was on my Whipco board for this year, and I figured I had a little bit of space at the end of this month to work on something. It's, my Whipco board's kind of fallen to the wayside, but I'm kind of finishing the projects that finishing the squares, I guess, that I could finish. And this was on there, and I figured, well, it's autumn, why not? So this is where I'm at. I didn't take it off the Q-Snap. You'll see it maybe next week off the Q-Snaps. But what I worked on, I did this little bird here. I did this motif here, this leaf, and then I'm almost done with this motif here. So my goal in this is 15 hours for the month. I'm not going to meet that, but I'm going to finish. I will finish the 15 hours. I'll move it into next month because, why? I took an extra day to finish Spring Quakers. So that took one of the days I was going to work on Autumn Quakers. Yeah, and then I did not work on Autumn Quakers last night like I had planned because I had my yearly eye doctor exam. Not exam. It's not the eye doctor that checks your eyesight, if that makes sense. It's the eye doctor it's the specialist who checks to make sure my eyes are A-okay with all the issues I've had with them. And they dilate my eyes. And I know they say it should only last 2 to 3 hours, but for me, I'm done for the entire evening. And I kind of forgot about that when I was planning out my month. But I can't see anything. Well, I shouldn't say that. I can see, but I certainly can't focus enough to do cross stitch. So I could watch videos. Okay. Couldn't really write anything. So it was just kind of a low-key night, which is fine. It was a nice break. but I did not stitch on it. So I'm going to stitch on it tonight, and I'm going to stitch on it on Monday, and then that will be my 15 hours. This is stitched on the called for 28 count doubloon by Picture This Plus, and I'm using the Valdani threads. This piece you'll see a lot next year because my goal for next year is to finish this piece. Okay, so that is Autumn Quakers, and that's what I worked on this week. Finished Spring Quakers, worked on L'Amazing, and worked on Autumn Quakers. So let's go into haul. I do have a little bit of haul that I'm excited about. I've already made a big mess over here somehow. Okay. So haul. I picked up this from 123 Stitch. This is, there we go. This is called Lady of the Mist Mirabilia. This is one that has been on my wish list, and she was on sale, so I grabbed her. This will be added to my Mira collection. So I love it. I think she's so pretty. And one day, I do plan to stitch them. I got my Fine Floss MPI Need to Point Silk from Fat Quarter Shop. So this month's color is called Pitch Black, and you can see their browns and blacks in there, which is great. This this Floss of the Month Club I will continue into 2022. So I've already kind of had to make some decisions about what I'm going to do for next year. This I'm going to keep going because I love it. I love the MPIs. I've never worked with them, to be honest, but they feel really soft. So keep collecting those. And then I got my, which piece is this? This is my Fabric of the Month by Rogue Stitching. This must be my October piece, I'm guessing. Look at that. Talk about pushing me outside of my comfort zone. This is beautiful. This is called Midnight Moss. It's by Sunflower Printed Fabric, I think. So, oh yeah, it's printed, so you can see on the back. But it's white. So, but this is really, really beautiful. This one I want to talk to you a little bit about the Rogue Stitching, or the Rogue Fabric of the Month Club. So I am going to continue this club for next year as well. I've already signed up. I am going to try to video a bit that shows you, well, I'll insert the video here where I talk about the club and how you sign up and kind of what you get and all that. So I'll insert that video here. Okay, everyone, I have tried recording this on my computer a few times now, and I can't get it to work. So I'm just going to record it on my phone here. So this is from an email sent to me by Rogue Stitching about the Fabric of the Month Club for 2022 and the Floss of the Month Club for 2022 as well. I will put a link in the description box below where you can sign up if you would like. You also get a 5% discount if you sign up. Here you can see the fabrics that we're expected to get for 2022. It's really nice that they show us the fabrics ahead of time so you can make an informed decision. So you can see they alternate between more neutral colors and more bright colors, which is really fun. And you can see that they say that 6 different fabric companies or fabric dyers will be represented next year, which is great. And you can sign up. So you can sign up to get the Baker's Dozen, which is you get all 12 pieces. And if you stay with the club for the whole year, in December, they'll send you a bonus piece. Or if you don't want to do that, you can sign up just for the even months, which are the color pieces, or just the odd months, which are the neutral pieces. Okay, so you can take a look again here. So you see January is more neutral, March is more neutral, May is more neutral, whereas February, the second month, is more of a brightly colored, April is more of a brightly colored, and so forth. So you can decide if you want all 12 or 6. And then they have a Floss of the Month Club. Now, I've never been in their Floss of the Month Club, but judging by their great customer service and products and all of that with their Fabric of the Month Club, I think it would be just as great. They are representing 11 different floss companies, so you can get an idea here of which floss companies are represented. And then here we get an idea of the pricing. So you do, for the fabric, you do get to choose your size and how big of a piece you want. So you know, if you want Lugana, I think I usually get the Lugana 32 count Lugana quarter yard, I'm pretty sure is what I get. But if you want something different, they have a variety for you. So like I said, I will link them down below for you to take a look at their website. If you're interested in joining a fabric or floss of the month club for next year, I'm really, really happy with the Rogue Stitching one. Okay, so hopefully that made sense. And let me know if you have any questions. I'll also put a link down below for you to sign up. And if you're interested in doing it. The nice thing I do like that you can do the whole year, you can do every other month. You can do neutrals or colors. So I'm just going to do once a month because like I've said, their colors, like I showed in the video, the colors really, you know, I tend to go really neutral. And this is adding a little bit of color to my collection and kind of pushing me, challenging me in a good way to think more creatively about my cross stitching. So I want to stay with them for another year. So those are the 2 clubs I'm going to be doing. I don't know that I'm going to be doing any others, but those 2 for now. So I'm thrilled about that. I got my World of Cross Stitching magazine. This is the October 2021 issue. You can see I have a few things flagged. I hope to do a couple flip throughs. I owe you the Just Cross Stitch flip through for December as well. So hopefully I'll get those done maybe tomorrow, I hope. We will see. It's a very busy weekend. I got my hair done this morning. And I have my cousin is coming into town tonight. And I'm going to try to put a cabinet together for my craft room because I have the cabinets in-house now. And I just need to haul them upstairs and put them together. So I'm going to try to do one this weekend on top of grading and all that other stuff. Okay, so that's haul. But wait. I decided, I came to a big decision recently about floss storage. I'm going to give Annie's Keepers a good old try. So I got, this is the 300 floss keeps or thread drops. And these are the hangers that go in like a file box or drawer, whatever you have. And yeah, so I think this will work. I'm excited to give it a try and to report back to you. And once I get it set up and show you, I can show it to you and how I like it and all that. But yeah, it is not a cheap investment if you don't like it, but I think I will. I've been thinking about it for a very long time. And it will help me see what I have, and it will be a lot less time to pick out your flosses, my flosses. So I'm excited about that, and I will report on that once I get it all set up for you. But that came in the mail just today, actually. I was so excited. And it's a heavy, it's a heavy thing. So I buy these from the Stitching Shop in Denver, Colorado. I think that's one of the few places that sell them. So these are the hanging bars. They also sell, they call these project slides. I bought them. I don't know for sure that I'm going to need to like them because I think I like my, how I do projects now with the thread drop pieces of plastic that I have, because with these, so these don't have any hooks on the side. So that's why they're project slides. But I would, when I store my project away, I want something to wrap the floss around so it doesn't get tangled. So that's how I use, let me see if oh no, that's a bad example. Ah, here we go. Right, so these are what I'm talking about. So when I put my piece away, you see how I wrap it around, and then it prevents the floss from getting tangled. I like this. I'm not sure. I picked these up just to try them, but I'm pretty sure these aren't going to work for me. So maybe somebody else out there wants to give them a try. So let me know if you're interested, and maybe I'll put these in a giveaway and not even open them. How about that? So, because this is working well for me, I'm just talking about my long-term storage when things are not in projects. That's what I'm talking about for this. So, I'm very excited about that. Okay, that is my haul. Now, let's talk about plans. I did not pull anything because I am on a bit of a time crunch today, but I didn't pull any projects because, like I said, I'm on a time crunch. But you'll see them next month anyway. And all these pieces I feel like you've seen pretty recently. So in November, my big goal is Autumn at Acorns and Thread, finish block 2. My goal for the year was to finish blocks 1 and 2. So I want to finish block 2 so I can meet that goal. I decided that my Sunday spin, without actually spinning, I'm going to work on Kringles. Kringles, I'm trying to get the roof done. So Kringles, if you recall, who did that? Country Cottage Needleworks, maybe? Little House Needleworks? I get them confused. I think it's Country Cottage Needleworks. It's the department store. So you see like inside the department store. My goal for the year is to finish the roof. And there was a period of time where I'm like, I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to meet that goal, so I'm not going to worry about it. But now that I'm like, well, maybe I could. If I used my Sunday spin to work on Kringles, I might actually meet that goal. I'm only about a third of the way done. So I need to focus on that to try to finish that roof. And that means next year I can do the fun part, which is like the little scenes inside each room. So that's going to be my Sunday spin, except I didn't spin. The Magazine Monthly Challenge theme for next year is Home is Where the Heart Is. And so that I'm going to work on Welcome Winter Friends, which I think I showed you last week. Welcome Winter Friends. It's the one with the trees. I've met my goal for the year on that one. So I'm just going to do one rotation. So one evening, that's about 3 hours of work. And just continue, push it ahead for next year because my goal on that one will be to finish it next year. And then the acrostic for next month is Home, H-O-M-E, Home. So for the H, I plan to use Autumn at Acorns and Thread. Those have H's in it. The block number 2, and of course the goal is to finish block number 2. For the O, I'm going to use Christmas Dinner, which you've seen also recently. O for it being my oldest chart that I have. And I plan to get 6 hours in for the O. And that will complete my goal on that piece for this year, which was a total of 30 hours. So I just have 6 more to go. The M in Home will be Elegant Pumpkins. The M is for magazine because it's a magazine piece. And the M, my goal is 6 hours. And the E in Home, also Elegant Pumpkins, another 3 hours. So 9 hours total on Elegant Pumpkins. I think I talked about it last week. I don't expect that I'll meet my goal this year on that piece, which is the 2 front pumpkins completed. But that's okay. I just want to, keep working on it and see where I can get. So this week, what I'm going to work on is tonight I'm going to work on Autumn Quakers. And then on Monday, I'm going to work on Autumn Quakers, and that will complete that Whipco spot on Autumn Quakers. And we'll be able to mark that off. It's been a while since we've marked anything off on the Whipco board. And then I'm going to work on Autumn at Acorns and Thread number 2 to make sure that we meet that goal. And I'm sure that will take more than next week because there's a lot of stitching in those. So that's my goal, or my plans for this week. However, what I've not said is I'm going to have a new start. And I think I showed you one new start that I plan to do this month. I've completely changed that new start. I was going to do the stained glass window with the cross in it, which I still plan to start sometime this year, maybe, hopefully. But Stitching Mommy, Sarah from Stitching Mommy, has totally enabled me. And this piece has gotten my stitchy bug, or not my stitchy bug, my Haid stitchy bug back. I have been avoiding the 2 Haids like plague Haigs, right? But Stitching Mommy started this. I'll put in a picture. Why can't I do this here? I'll put in a picture right here. It's called Cat Alphabet. It's designed by Haid, charted by Haid, I should say. And oh gosh, I didn't write down the designer, but I'll put it here, or the artist. I'll put it down here. It's Irina. Wait, do I have it in here? No. Okay, I'll put it down here. The artist. I think it's darling. I think it's adorable. I know I don't like alphabets, but this is different because there's cats. And really, each scene is so cute and darling. And I already have all the floss for it. I might have gone into my Farewell to Anger. There's a lot of floss held up in that piece that I'm not even working on. So I pulled some from there. I did a Michael's curbside pickup. I am missing 2 or 3 flosses that just weren't in stock. Watch, those are the ones I'm going to need. I already have that giant piece of 18 count fabric, Ada, that I'm going to try it on. It's going to be huge. It will be huge. But I'm really excited to start it. So I'm going to do 2 threads over 1, 2 over 1. 2 lengths of thread over 1 square of stitching because it's 18 count. So I'm excited to get started on that. I could not get my Kindle to work at all. So I'm going to have to figure that out and maybe just work from the paper pattern for, tomorrow's session anyway, till I figure out what I'm going to do about the Kindle and to use Pattern Keeper. So I am super excited because I also think Annie's keepers are going to be perfect system for keeping all the thread in an organized way for a Haid. It will use up some of these, but I bought a small filing, like one of those plastic filing cabinets, just a small one. It's bigger than this, but you get what I'm saying. And I'll just have some of these, there's 87 colors. So I'll just have 4 or 5 of these because I think each slide holds 16, I think. And the colors will just stay there on these slides with these thread keeps. And then when you're done with thread keeps, you just put them back in your main storage. So I'm hoping that works. I'm super excited to play with it. So I want to, get stuff done today, go pick up my cousin from the airport. She's not visiting me. Well, she is kind of visiting me. She's only in town for tomorrow, and then she leaves again on Monday. She's stopping by to see a friend and see me, and just very briefly. And then she's on her way to fly elsewhere. So it's just really a stopover. So I'm excited to see her. I hadn't seen her since last summer. But then I'm going to stitch, and then I want to play with my Annie's keepers. All right, I need to get going. Oh, no, I forgot. WIPCO calls were made. So for November, the WIPCO calls were number 14 and 16. Those are the blocks. Number 14 for me is Winter Quakers, and number 16 for me is Santa's Village, which I have not touched in forever. I will not be touching Santa's Village unless a bomb cyclone goes off or something. Winter Quakers, I do tentatively plan to work on in December, so we'll see if we get that. And if I do, I'd like to get the 15 hours in so I can mark it off my WIPCO board. And then that left for December, that left only 2 blocks left. Number 9, which was Princess Eliana, which I also haven't pulled out all year. I'm avoiding that one. And number 23, which is Autumn Quakers, which is what I'm working on now. So while I can't X it off until it's called, I'll be able to kind of say, okay, I did it. I'm just waiting for it to be called. So that is the WIPCO numbers. For WIPCO next year, I have already developed my board because I'm a planner. And what I've decided to do for WIPCO next year is I've picked 6 pieces that I really, really want to focus on, and I'm putting them on that board 4 times each. So that's 24 spots. And I'm going back down to 12 hours a month. 15 hours a month is what I did this year. It's just a little too much for me to make other progress. And, I'm going to be working on the Quakers, and I'm going to be working on Autumn at Hawker & Hollow, which those pieces are so much stitching. So I feel like if I do 12 hours, that's, assuming I can do 3 hours a day of stitching, that's only 4 days. And then there will be 2 numbers called each month. So that's a total of 8 days out of the month. And that seems much more doable to me than 10 days because it's just under 1/3. So I'll talk more in December about my plans, what projects are on there. So I'm really looking forward because then I calculated, said, well, if I do only 6 pieces and they each get 4 turns at 12 hours each, that's, 4 times 12, which is 48 hours of progress. I had to think about that. I was like 30. My brain kept wanting to say 36. I'm like, that's not right. 48 hours of progress on a whole year. That's a good amount. If you think about Spring Quakers, it took me 130 hours to do, so assume about the same. I mean, we don't know, right? Every piece is different. But if I can get 48 hours done on Autumn Quakers next year, which that would be my goal, right? that's going to be a lot of progress that we're going to see. So, well, Autumn Quakers is a bad example because I'm planning to finish it. But any of the other Quakers, I still have summer Quakers and winter Quakers. So anyway, I'm babbling now. I'm stalling from doing housework is what's happening here. So I'll talk more about my plans for 2022 in December. But yes, my plans are well underway. I've been thinking about them for a while now. So I'm excited to share that with you. I hope you have a wonderful Stitchy week. I hope you have a wonderful Halloween if you celebrate. I hope you don't get spooked. I saw downtown where I live, there must have been like a business Friday night trick-or-treat thing. So there are lots of little goblins running around. It was the cutest thing I've seen in a very long time. But I hope you have a great Stitchy week, and I will see you next week, everyone. Bye.